Hello everyone, here I have is a Toyota Highlander 2012 and today I have to replace the alternator for this guy. The alternator is a very tight place, so what we need to do is remove the radiator hose, get the coolant drained out, and then get to the alternator. The first thing first, what we need to do is disconnect your battery terminal. On this guy, I think this is 8mm. Get these out. Disconnect your terminal, put them aside. Let's get to the alternator. The alternator is 2-bolt alternator. One's up here and one's underneath. Since we already disconnected the battery, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the alternator power and start getting some bolts disconnected. Let's get some of the bolts out right here. This is for the battery connection. Disconnect this. Right here is the actual. So after that, we need to disconnect the tensioner, release the tensioner, remove the belt, and then we need to remove 2 more bolts. One 10mm from here, one from here. This will give us a little bit more room to move these guys. Next, let's disconnect the radiator hose. Okay, once you get the front bolt right here, the bottom bolt right there, there's one tiny bolt that's right behind the alternator. And you see my socket? It's going to be right here. You're going to go straight behind the alternator. It's 12mm. Add a small extension and take that bolt out. After you get that bolt out, it's easier if you just remove the radiator fan. Connected with 3 bolts, 1, 2, and 3. Take them out, open this up, and you also need to disconnect the fan plug, and the entire fan system comes off. After you've taken that out, now we'll be able to remove the alternator out. I don't want to damage my radiator, so I'm going to put a cardboard against this. Now let's pull the alternator out. So the bracket we unplugged is holding a wire harness. You can see that bracket right there. It's part of the alternator. So right now, alternator is completely free. You have to guide it out, and I'm gonna need both of my hands to do that. Once you twist the alternator, you can easily pull it up, and that's why I put a cardboard on the side, because this bracket can easily destroy your radiator, and then you're going to end up replacing the radiator. So this is a clutch driven pulley. You can feel it. Let's get our new alternator in and bolt it down. Anyway, I wanted to show you this bracket here is mounted with 10mm bolt here, and the entire purpose of this is to brace the alternator, and right here is the AC compressor wire harness connected to prevent it from touching the compressor and getting any wire burn. So you cannot open this one, there's no room, that's why I opened this one. Once the alternator sits back in place, you can take the upper bolt and guide it through there. There you go. Fasten it down. Tighten the bolt, this one and the bottom one, which is at the bottom of the alternator. There's the bolt right here at the bottom of the alternator. You can tighten that one, make sure it's tight. Now at this point, you don't want to put anything back together yet. First thing you want to do is connect your serpentine belt back on. There's not a lot of room, and if you can't do it from here, it's best you take the wheel off, lift the car up, take the wheel off, take the cover off, and then get to the tensioner from the bottom. Tensioner is right here. You see that bolt? That's your tensioner. Here's the setup I use for my tension. So I can just basically tension the pulley up, put the belt on, and slide it back down. What I do is easier for me if I put a belt onto the AC compressor, not alternator. Once you got the belt tensioned, we're going to go ahead and plug our plugs back in. This right here is 10 millimeter. Let's put that one on. Perfect. Put the safety boot back on. Now, one thing you have to make sure that you got to that bolt right here. You can see it is installed. And alternator is on. We got the belt on. We got the hose on. This right here needs a 10 millimeter bolt. I'm going to plug that in. And then after that, I can just drop the radiator fan back in and connect everything. Let's go connect all the wiring mounts. So right here, I'm going to connect this one back. Right here, this mount, make sure you plug it back in. There's nothing else that was removed. Wirings are secured. Make sure they're not getting caught between the fan. I'm going to go ahead and drop the fan in. The radiator fan's on. Here are the bolts we gotta connect. These are 10 millimeters. Here you go. Next thing we're going to do is connect the plug for the fan controller. Perfect. Hose right here for the reservoir tank. And you got to make sure you remount all the harnesses where they're supposed to be mounted. Toyota did not want these things to be caught between the fan. This was in the way almost every aspect of work. The most annoying thing ever. Got it. We have this hood release holder. Latch holder. It's pound. Got it. So this stuff is connected. Next we're gonna go ahead and put the air intake tube. This guy. Okay, next we have this plastic cover that goes over here to look pretty, make things look pretty, honestly, like that. And so we got plastic clips like this. Pop them in, push it down. That's how it works. Pop them in, push it down. Remember when we removed these bolts from here? We needed that so we can move these around when removing the radiator fan out of the way. There we go. Perfect. Make sure you connect that bolt and the fastener back in. Make sure this is connected, intake is connected. So next we're going to go ahead and connect the upper radiator hose. the screwdriver off and clamp it back up. There you go. Make sure it is secure. So at this point you can double check your work, make sure you didn't really mess anything up. Plugs are connected, everything is connected, belt is on, hose is on, these are secured, radiator fan is connected, air is connected. So I ended up removing these two lines from their mounts. Let's put them back in. And this bad boy here needs to be secured and done. So that's it. That's what it takes to replace an alternator on this Toyota Highlander 2012. Little word of advice to you guys: if you are starting this and you think you can take the alternator out without the radiator fan, not possible. You also have to remove the rear bracket bolt, otherwise alternator will not come out and you will break something. So make sure you have to get the tensioner removed, all the belts taken out, this hose disconnected, bottom and top alternator bolt out, one behind the alternator taken out, remove the wire harness. After you've done all that, remove your radiator fan housing out by removing this cover, and put a cardboard in your way, because when you take the alternator out you could damage the radiator and that could be costly repair. These are not cheap. So anyway, thanks for watching everybody. See you in the next video. Like and subscribe. Have a nice day.